Hello, friends, neighbors. January's neighbor here. Welcome down the Nook. Welcome again to a Peated Saturday. This is going to be a quick walkthrough of Talisker Storm. This is my bottle. I bought it, and I have enough in here to give you an actual thought and a rating. And then, James gave me this heel so I could do a few more 18s. This is the Talisker 18. And I haven't tasted it yet. So, this looks like it's going to be a salty, briny bit of Scotch here today. So if you have any single malt, Talisker would be the best. If not, maybe some with a little bit of peat or salt to kick in there. And come on back. 3, 4. Well, thanks for staying with me through the opener. As I said, it's still spring break, and it was -10 today. I had to scrape my windshield. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. So I'm going to go inside and warm up. So I've got this Talisker. Talisker, I took a while to warm up to it. It's still not my favorite as much as there's so many people on YouTube that really do love it, and that's great. For me, well, I'll get it in the tasting notes, but it took a while to get to know this. This Talisker Storm is their entrance in my market. So it's priced about $10 less than their 10-year-old. It is a non-age stamp. There's a lot of interesting myth, maybe not myth. When it first came out, they had, it's not age stamp, but apparently they had some really old whiskey in here, 20-some years, which would be amazing. I like the new bottle look. The older one was maybe classier, but it looks nice. As always with Talisker, 45.8%. This is colored and chill filtered from my sources. So, okay, but it's the Isle of Skye. I know we're going to get a little peat in here. So let's get into the nose of this Talisker Storm. Oh, I should say the casking. Ex-bourbon. And then I keep seeing toasted American oak. I'm assuming, recharred, like an STR or retoasted. I don't know. I still feel it's used barrels, so some used bourbon, but I did see in my reading some toasted oak. So let's talk this Talisker Storm on the nose. It is a nice coastal nose. It's seaweed, it's briny. It's not like medicinal peat like a Lafroig, but it's got that coastal air. Absolutely. Just already on the nose, smoky, salty. There might be some sugar cooking around, like it gives the impression of being sweet, but I can't nail down a particular fruit. Although I also get a little bit of citrus on the nose, a little bit of souring, a little bit of lemon rind. Yep. All right. Let's go into the palate. Talisker Storm. Sláinte. I think that holds up well in the palate. It's malty and it's coating, and it gets peppery pretty quickly. It's got nice crackback pepper. I like that in a whiskey when it's done well. It's not like harsh pepper. It's just spicy and peppering, and that pairs really well with the nose. It continues to get a bit more smoky as I dig around in it. It's a little bit less in the mid palate, like where I think I would like to deepen my citrus or get a few more other layers around. I'm kind of left with a light malt sugar, crackback pepper, and that general smokiness. I'll try another sip. Sláinte. Okay, as often, the second sip did give me a little bit more caramel, vanilla, like not vanilla, but like a little more caramel feeling to it. So I'm going to add that to a prominent note. A nice caramel toffee, crackback pepper, lots of that, smoky, briny, little salty, little bit of ginger if I'm trying to chase down some other spices outside of pepper. And the finish takes me into some charred oak, some nice oak. Actually, quite a bit of oak. Okay, yep, quite a bit of oak on the finish, and I like that. When I first opened this bottle, I struggled with liking it. It took me a little while to like the 10 even too, but I got to a place where I'm like, okay, I really like the 10. It has that nice, almost all of those notes, but certainly deeper flavors, a little more orange rind instead of just a little bit of lemon. Definitely some other deeper spice palettes in there. Same cracked pepper. Almost less smoke though, the 10 for me. Now that this has been, haven't been going to it much, but it's been open for probably about half a year, and I'm liking it, coming back to it. And I actually like a little more oak in my whiskey, and I wish I had the 10 in front of me, but I feel like I'm getting a little more oak on the Storm. So now I kind of like this. And everyone that I watch and pay attention to, great YouTubers out there, definitely recommend the 10 over the Storm. Why would you buy the Storm when the 10 is basically the same price? And I think I still agree with that. The 10 is a better whiskey. But if this is on offer or on sale, in my market, it does sit $10 less. And if you're a Talisker fan, I think you should bring it home. I'm actually warming up to it quite a bit. And I'm like, this is a 3 3/4, pushing 4. You know what? I'm going to drop it in around 4. And Talisker 10 is like 4 1/4. It's a great 10-year-old. But this is good. This is a good Scotch. I'm liking it. Maybe it's a little bitter on the back end now that I've been talking to you. So maybe let's leave this at 3 3/4, because the 10-year-old for me has jumped back and forth depending on the day between that and a quarter or just 4. This has to sit under it overall, but I am actually enjoying it a fair amount. So this is in keeping in line with it's my spring break. I'm on holidays, a treat to me. This is Talisker 18-year-old. And James gave me that heel. James, you're the best. So from what I understand in reading about the 18-year-old is it is ex-bourbon and ex-sherry. So now instead of that STR or charred or toasted oak, we have ex-sherry. Sadly, again, it's filtered and colored. And I'm saying sadly because, it gives a little more like this sort of a blue-purple tinge to the label, and the color is absolutely darker, which could be just more an oak, but also could be some of that ex-sherry. I just wish it was natural color. I'm going to talk about the price on this on the back end. Of course, I didn't pay for it. Again, cheers. But let's see what I like. It's my first impressions. I have not had the Talisker 18 before. Let's go in on the nose. The ex-sherry is just speaking volumes. By that is this I'm getting a general sweetness, a bit of lemon, a little bit of lemon custard. This just adds rich, leathered fruits to the nose. Like it just does. And almost like dried fruits, but like higher quality dried fruits, like not the ones you try to avoid. Like it just has that almost that sticky, rich, leathered fruit note already in the nose. I still have some of the smoke and brine, less. Actually, quite a bit less. This is a sprightly, salty ocean spray. I'm sure my cousins will mock me for that one. Yeah, this is actually starting to speak sweet stewed fruits. So I better get in on the palate before I lose my train of thought. Sláinte. Wow, that is so rich. That is still some of that caramel and some of that sweetness, but all of those stewed, cooked down fruits. It's got, oh boy, what is that? Almost a leathered note. I think I used that already. Oh, and then that pepper is there, but it's into like an interesting rolled tobacco note. Absolutely. This is much richer, significantly sweeter, and quite a bit more fruit on it than this. This is light, brass lemon, citrus. Oh, I'm going to try another sip to see if I can find if the citrus has shifted, because it's almost characteristic in Talisker. Sláinte. Yeah, I'm hunting it, and in that way, it's a dark orange, and I'm getting a bit of cinnamon stick, which I don't normally get in Talisker. Some pepper, but it's not as hot as this one. This is a lovely dram, and near instantly in a comparison like this speaks richer. I think it's the same. Taliskers are all 45. 45.8. It drinks so much gentler across the palate, and then coming yet with flavor, like lots of flavor. So it's not that it becomes thin or forgettable, not at all. But it definitely just would disappear pretty quickly. This is a great Scotch. I just had it for the first time with you. I can't critically give it a rating. I'm going to come back to it in a comparison, I think, with some other 18-year-olds. But this is truly great. Here's my I looked and couldn't find the 18-year-old for sale in Alberta, Canada right now. That's a bad sign. So I searched online and I found it for like £195 in the UK. That's like, I don't know, $400 Canadian. That is a crazy amount of money. Now, this is a great, it's a wonderful Scotch. Just from this sip, it's excellent. But not at that price. That price is just so high, especially when I looked historically. You can drag back a little bit. It's been half that. It's been, anyways. Pricing on this one seems to have run away, unless it's coming back. Maybe that's why there's none in Alberta. They're going to get it for a better deal. I don't know. Starting back here with the Storm, this is a great Scotch. This is the kind of Scotch that I buy. It's usually on sale or on offer. It's affordable. I know it's a non-age stamp, but this drinks well. It's a little brighter citrus, a little bumpier. It's a little bitter on the back end. None of that here. This is rich and sweet and salty and bitter pepper. It's lovely. Anyways, thanks for joining me down here in the Nook. Hope you guys have had a great spring break. And let me know your thoughts. What do you think of the Talisker? Should have had the 10 right here to do a better lineup. But let me know your thoughts and hope you guys have a good week coming up.